Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Hurtado, and I'm accompanied by Dr. Austin Robbie, Christy Kryzak, Ed Niebling, and Sharon Sparrow to interview veteran Joseph Allen Baer. Today is June 22nd, 2017, and the interview is taking place at Ave Maria School of Law in Naples, Florida. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Wonderful. First, I'd like to ask a few biographical details about yourself. Where and when were you born?
I was born February 12, 1969 in Concord, North Carolina. My family lived in Kannapolis, where my mom still lives, but that's where I'm from. My mom, Arlene Baer, my dad, Iron, had 6 kids, including me. I was the youngest, so I have 4 sisters and a brother, and they all live still pretty much around that area. I'm the only one that's really gone away.
Now I'm going to ask you about your wartime service.
Okay.
Where did you serve?
Well, during my very first enlistment, a couple years in, Desert Storm happened, and I was actually stationed in Alaska, and still pretty young, and young men can be foolishly eager sometimes, thinking this is the last place in the world they're going to take people and send them to the desert. And then lo and behold, here you go, we're on a plane and went over and served doing that. So that was quite a transition, going from Alaska in December to Saudi Arabia and then into Iraq. So served in Desert Storm, and then much later, more toward the end of my career, back in Iraq again in 2003 in OIF 1 for with the 101st at that time under General Petraeus, and we went into Iraq and all the way up to Mosul, and the whole time I was in aviation maintenance, so I was always a Chinook guy, a helicopter guy. That was my wartime service.
Would you like to leave a message for future generations who will see this interview?
Well, like I said, whether you support the current administration or the current policies or whatever, support the soldiers. And when you see soldiers that have been in combat, realize, like I said, we're all a product of our environment and our background, and that's part of their background. And it's way different than the vast majority of our society. Vast majority of our society never serves in the military. And, even a subset of that serves in combat. And so, whether that person was an infantryman on the front lines or in some level of a support role, there's definitely a difference there, okay? And it doesn't make everyone who's been through that a superhero, and it doesn't make everyone who's been through that some kind of crazy demon that's gonna flip out. But it's definitely something that, like I said earlier, you may find that it affects you more than you realized.
I'd like to thank you for your service to this country and everything you've done, and thank you for agreeing to this interview, and just thank you very much.
Well,